Winter is the season most pub players stop playing at. You can have a server of 16 players, but as soon as winter hits, 2/3 of them are suddenly going to vanish. It's a strange phenomenon that most people have yet to understand. So let's go ahead and explore any more secrets and phenomena that winter may hold. Some unique stuff about winter is with temperature. Temperature actually affects certain things in the game. When the world is below 0 degrees, items such as food will degrade slower at 0.75. The temperature also affects wetness. At 0 temperature, wetness does not automatically dry off. So you actually need to be near a fire for wetness to dry off. This can be very deadly in the caves when sometimes there's a winter rain down there. Most of winter has been pretty explored. It's actually kind of simple, honestly. A lot of things that are available in other seasons just stop. Most plants stop growing, spawners stop working, no more frogs, mosquitoes, and butterflies. New creatures also start to spawn, like pangolins, deers, and walruses. There is something interesting about pangolins though, in that they have the biggest stomach out of any creature in the game. The pangol has over 5,000 hunger points that drain at 480 a day. This hunger drain is to make it so that pangolins last through the entirety of winter and die off towards the end of winter. But since this is an actual hunger meter, food will affect it. So that means you can extend the time a pangol lives, or you can decrease it using rot. This hunger meter, however, is the reason why pangols become hostile towards the end of winter. It takes about 12 days for the pangols spawning for them to start starving. Once that number hits 0, the pangols start taking damage and will aggro the player if they get too close. However, what's interesting is that if the pangol finds food, they won't aggro the player again until they start starving. Next, onto their eggs. Pangolins can lay a max of 2 eggs. There can be a max of 5 pangol spawns, each having 9 pangols. It will take about half a day for a pangol to lay an egg, and about 1.5 days for it to lay a new egg when the first one is stolen. And it says in the source code that they're not supposed to be able to lay eggs if it's too cold out. But I had it on the coldest day and the pangols still laid their eggs, so that part is not working. The mutated pangols also have this egg laying function, but because they are considered to be scary in the code, they keep scaring each other away, never being able to actually lay their eggs. If you happen to kill all but one moon pangol, they will lay a spoiled egg and protect it. You can also drop a spoiled egg on the ground as they spawn, and they will go after and protect that spoiled egg. The same happens with regular pangols too. Next is Mactusk. He doesn't really have many secrets of his own, but a fun one is with Weetusk. You see, normally Weetusk spawns with hounds, and his attack is to command the hounds onto the player. If the player gets too close to Weetusk, normally he will just run. But very rarely Weetusk will attack. He actually has a dart like his father. However, he only shoots it when a creature is close. You can see here when spawning a bunch of them on a salamander, the closest ones shoot a dart during his calling animation. Go ahead and try this one for one of the more rare death notifications. And finally, we get to talk about the big man himself, Deerclops. Always coming on day 30 on the first winter, Deerclops himself is not too crazy to understand. He doesn't really hide any secrets except for the fact that you can dodge behind him now. His attacks are based on a cone facing whatever creature he is aggroed on, and it doesn't move, so you can dodge to the left or right while he is preparing his swing to dodge his attack. A really nice way to easily kill Deerclops. Other than that, he is somewhat unique in his spawning mechanics. Giants can't spawn in the forest until 27 days have passed, which is why Bearger doesn't spawn in the first autumn. On day 28, the Deerclops spawn timer starts. This timer is 2.8 days to arrive. This is why he shows up on the night of day 30. On the last minute, Deerclops will choose a random player on the surface and begin his moaning. If there are no players on the surface, the timer will be stalled and begin as soon as someone is on the surface. If you leave the surface before the minute of Deerclops spawning is completed, the timer will be reset back to 1 minute. Since the Return of Them update, boats and docks have also broken a lot of the spawning mechanics of Deerclops. If you're on a boat or on the lunar island while Deerclops is supposed to start spawning, it'll basically skip Deerclops' spawning altogether, meaning you have to wait a full season to get that Deerclops again. When Deerclops is spawned, he will destroy a few structures and look like he has a calm expression on him. He will then wander off and despawn. After this despawning, it will take him 2.8 days to spawn again. If Deerclops fails to destroy objects or is not killed in winter, his timer will reset again to 2.8 days on the coming of spring. If Deerclops is killed, the next Deerclops will respawn after 16.8 days. These days, however, don't count outside of winter, so if you kill Deerclops at the end of winter on the last day, he won't respawn the following winter. You can, however, avoid this. You can move him to a place with no structures and enemies, and he will stay there. You can come back to him towards the end of winter and wait till spring starts, overriding his 16.8 day kill timer with a 2.8 day failed task timer, meaning Deerclops will always spawn 3 days into winter each year if this is done consistently. That is about it for winter and secrets I feel it holds. Thank you for watching. I used an older video to help pinning down on Deerclops spawn, so thanks to this channel for that information. There is also a forum post in the description that goes into more detail of how the Deerclops spawns. I hope it helps you. Until next time, this has been Terra, and take care.